The stage is finally set for Super Bowl 47 as the San Francisco 49ers will be taking on the Baltimore Ravens. I correctly predicted both the AFC and NFC championships and the result and outcome for them, and 49ers and Ravens, and here we are. I'll be giving previews, some numbers to look at, and eventually my prediction here. Looking at the numbers of the passing game, Colin Kaepernick through 2 games, he's 33 of 52 for 496 yards, 3 TDs, and an interception. Joe Flacco, who's performed well above expectations, 51 of 93, 853 passing yards, 8 TDs, and no interceptions through 3 games. Phenomenal numbers by Flacco. In the rushing game for both sides is pretty much the same. Through 2 games for the 49ers, they have amassed 472 rushing yards. For the Ravens, through 3 games, they amassed 448 rushing yards. I really think it's even. The averages will probably about evened out because total offense, the 49ers have averaged 484 yards, and for the Ravens, they've averaged 434 yards. So both offenses are clicking and doing real well. And for points, the 49ers are averaging 36 compared to the Ravens 30. Real even, though, still considering Ravens played one more game than the 49ers. The receiving game has made a big difference, especially for Joe Flacco. Anquan Bolden has 16 receptions, 276 yards, 3 TDs. Obviously, one of Flacco's favorite targets, along with Torrey Smith, who has 9 receptions for 198 yards and 2 TDs, and Dennis Pitta, the tight end, with 10 receptions, 137 yards, and 2 TDs. Flacco's got a lot of options for his passing game, so he's really caught fire, and I expect Flacco to have the same success, especially Matt Ryan almost threw for 400 yards against the 49ers and had 2 receivers with Roddy White and Julio Jones both going over the 100-yard mark in receiving yards. So that's something the 49ers may have to look at when it comes to the looking at the game film and be prepared for. For the 49ers offense, the receivers, Crabtree, playing up to his standards as expected, 15 receptions, 176 receiving yards, and 2 TDs. And more importantly now, for the 49ers, Vernon Davis finally showing some life with 6 receptions, 150 yards, and a TD. He's come up big for the 49ers in their 2 games, especially last game against the Falcons in the NFC Championship. And just like their offenses, their defenses are just as even as well. For the 49ers, they have given up an average of 419 yards compared to the Ravens' 431. Again, like I said, real even. 49ers have got 2 interceptions, 2 sacks, and a fumble recovery. The Ravens, though, on the other hand, their defense has just stepped it up a notch. Their defense may be playing better than the 49ers right now. It's 5 interceptions, 3 fumble recoveries, and 6 sacks. They've only allowed 19 points per game. That's through 3 games. And compared to the 49ers, who only played the 2 games, they've allowed 27 points per game. Like I said, some of the matchups that I think will be interesting, again, will be Flacco and his arm, and will he be able to continue his great passing game? And I think that, I think that will be one of the things to look for, obviously, in the Super Bowl. And he's got a lot of options with the receivers he has, and he's really taken his game to another level during the playoffs here. And Colin Kaepernick, he's got something that Flacco doesn't have, though, in terms of his own game. Not only can he pass, but he can run, and he's a multi-threat quarterback. He's got good vision. He's aware of what's around him. He's got good supplementary, too, with LaMichael James and Frank Gore behind him, too, when they need to run the ball and give the offense a nice spark. The defenses, the 49ers have Aldon Smith, Justin Smith, Navarro Bowman, Patrick Willis. They've got an all-around balanced defense, but the Ravens' defense has just come alive. They picked apart Peyton Manning. One of them, the interceptions they got on him was returned for a touchdown, and the one eventually led to the game-winning field goal. Terrell Suggs, Ed Reed, Ray Lewis. All the leaders have stepped up for them on the defensive side. It's a lot of veterans on the team, and just an interesting fact. If you didn't know that, if you haven't heard, Ray Lewis, who the Ravens linebacker, his first career sack was against the 49ers quarterback, or the 49ers head coach. I think it's Jim Har-Bowl. So I mean, I'm only human. I get them mixed up sometimes. Which one is coaching which with what name? But yeah. So his first career sack was against the 49ers head coach Har-Bowl. So that's a good way to put it. I mean, I think this will be a good game. For the 49ers, they're going to want to make sure their defense shuts down Flacco. That's going to be the key there for them. And to make sure their defense is also going to need to contain Flacco. And for the Ravens, will need to do the same thing because Kaepernick, being able with his arm, can do with his legs as well. So I want to get to my predictions before I keep rambling on here. Like I said, it's going to be close, I think. But, in the end, I'm going with the Ravens. I'm going to say 34-24. That's my pick. So feel free to let me know what you think, and who are you going to be rooting for, if you're going to be rooting for at all. But before I go, I want to mention that I wrote a blog recently about memorable playoff moments, and keep an eye out for my new blog that will be coming out this weekend, and it's regarding the most memorable Super Bowl moments. Some were written by entries were written by me, and I'm having some other people give me some of their entries and their favorite Super Bowl moments as well. So with that being said, I'm Nam, and until next time, I'll see ya.